person who is sentimental. But this thing is making me soft, giving into my damn heart. It feels like I am losing my grip, going crazy. Cause this doesn't make any sense. You're broken down all my defenses. No way back to the old me. When I'm stuck here on planet X, I'll become the person I've hated. Wonder what will happen next. Yeah, I don't know why. It's like a charge around us that just feels right. Can't get my head around it. I can never hit the brakes. Every time you touch me, babe, you send me right out into space. You send me right out into space. Space, right into space. My head tells me to stop, but there is nothing I can do. No. When I'm with you, I lose myself. I feel good. Oh, yeah, I don't know why. It's like a charge around us that just feels right. Can't get my head around it. I can never hit the brakes. Every time you touch me, babe, you send me right out into space. You send me right out into space. Space, right into space. Yeah, I don't know why. It's like a charge around us that just feels right. Can't get my head around it. I can never hit the brakes. Every time you touch me, babe, into space.
뻔한 얘기지만 널 보면 그냥 좋아. 매일 보고 싶어 함께 있는 순간들도. So hold me tight through the night. 변치 말자 너와 나. 아름다운 그대여. I just feel so lucky. 운명이라 믿어요. 오랜 친구였던 그대와 나 사이에 묘한 감정들이 자라기 시작했죠. You feel so right. I'll be your night. 시작인 걸 우리 둘. 아름다운 그대여. I just feel lucky. 운명이라 믿어요. 아름다운 그대여. I just feel so lucky. 운명이라 믿어요.
Gray skies are gonna clear up and there's no more time to sing the blues. It's November 20th. Nope, sorry, it's November 21st. And this is your Spike All News. Bleh.
It's so good timing right up until the flub. Welcome back, everybody.
We'll get this straight at some point. It is November 21st.
I guarantee you we're gonna change the format. Like, we're gonna get it right once, and then we're gonna completely change the format. It won't matter anymore. It's the way things always work.
How's everybody doing tonight? We are happy to see you.
Had some audio issues during the pre-show, so if there is any mic issues, because I didn't get a chance to check, let me know. But it seems like we're pretty good. We have, of course, always got to start with our Super Smarties.
Amy Zickerman and Angel Kitty, thank you so much for your continued support.
Absolutely fantastic. And I love seeing the Super Chats kick off now. It's just like, I actually see it coming, so I anticipate it. So I start like, wait, it's not to happen. So, love that. Thank you so much, guys. We also want to get started this show by kicking off the holiday season.
Yay, holidays!
I should have put up, I should have added like some little jingle bell sound effects, but yeah, happy holidays from us here at My Lady Disdain. We've got some new shirts that most of you have probably been expecting for a little while. So let's take a look. Here is our collection. You've got the character tees, which is pretty normal. These are the characters that Danny released and are available now in human-sized t-shirts. But we also have two custom or exclusive designs that I made. One is the Happy Holidays t-shirt.
They do come in a bunch of colors.
Yeah, I will say I'm sad to say that the unisex colors are better than the women's tee.
They really are. I'm like, I like the fit of the women's tee so much better for me.
It's there. I really didn't have any option there.
But so. I did find a few that I really liked.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, when in doubt, go black. It'll work great. So yeah, we have we've got a couple different colors. Oh, I've got to set this to medium. I actually really like the forest green.
The forest green is awesome.
And the other one, this one I created off of a request in the Discord for basically a Hanukkah-themed version of the Chibis. And the Chibis really are very Santa, and you can't get away from that. I mean,
right.
It's secular Christmas, but it's very much Christmas. So I created the pile of presents and created a little like Mirai staring at a big pile of presents. And this is just going to the background of it. It's 8 presents. So that's one, that's the 8 presents that you would get over Hanukkah. And
I ordered that one for myself in the navy.
Yeah, you just like the colors.
Yeah, it's really cute.
And then we have the slightly a light blue version. But since I was like, I might as well do it and open up the shirt to more people, I did make a red version, a red and green version.
I didn't even notice that there was a red and green version, so that's actually really cool. So make sure when you go in that you look at the colors for those and choose, the one that's appropriate for you.
I should note that for these as well. I was like, it's a Christmas shirt. I can't do a Christmas shirt without doing a red shirt, but it's red Santa costumes on top of a red shirt doesn't really work. So I made a green version of them.
So they can be elves on red shirts.
Yep. So that is the only place you can get the green. The red one generally looks a lot better, but it looks great, the green here on the red. So yeah, that is our new t-shirts that are out now. I would say go get them now all the time, but it's especially true right now because of the holiday shipping deadlines. It's really tough for me to give you like clear deadlines without spending days and days and days building a giant list of every single country.
Right, because it's like different for different countries.
But what I have gathered is definitely December 12th for the USA and November 29th for most international. If you have a question and you want to be sure, drop us a line on the website. You can hit that chat with us button or in Discord, however you want to contact us, and I can look up the specific cutoff date for your country if need be.
Just FYI, if you send us a chat, it goes to email. If we're not right there.
If we're not right there, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we have an app that we can see all of the chats in and respond to it there. But if we will get it, and we will respond to you if we're not able to respond to you right immediately. So yeah, new shirts. I'm excited.
Yeah, I got some really cute. We haven't even gotten all of them yet.
I know it was so much work getting these things together, and like normally I would prefer to launch them, and wear them and show them off, but there's not enough time. But next season I won't have to do nearly as much work because we'll be able to just open these up and make them available. So we have some headlines to get into. Let's do that. Be moved.
Be moved. So some discussion of the new frame.
Yeah, we actually discussed this last week, but I believe, I don't know, it seems like he updated the article after the fact. The date on it is after the news, but I'm like, I know we talked about this article. So I think he might have added some pictures perhaps to it.
Probably.
One of the things we missed out of that article last week was Be Moved is his new, I don't say catchphrase, but tagline for the Evolve frame. And we can see here, he specifically talks about the design of it and how many sort of triangular and filleted structures there are in it. And he has pictures of here doing horrible things to a shin piece, and how much testing they're doing on the different forces. Like there's 4 types of forces that they are doing testing on and making this a really robust frame. I think there's somebody talking about like, why spend so much time making it aesthetically pleasing? But most of the stuff of it, like, it's mostly for strength. Like all the triangles, all the things and angles and stuff that he's doing to that frame.
It's reinforcements.
Yes.
Like when you would see those kinds of things like on a bridge.
Yep, exactly.
So
that's cool. We also have, back to the original article that we talked about, I took a gander through these pictures, and it really is nice to just look at these things. And one thing I did realize, and I don't know if you have been looking at this the incorrect way, I thought that these hip joints are sort of half open. It's like a disc, and then the hip joint is in there. I assumed that there was going to be like an enclosure to it, and that we were just seeing inside the joint. But it's actually inverted on the other side, and so the left and right hips are essentially the same part turned on the opposite side. So he can like make the exact same mold and flip it upside down. And now he's using it there, and it's working for both sides.
So that helps them. That should help them somewhat with manufacturing costs and resources.
Right, and really shows their attention to detail around scaling the production of this, being able to make more and more of these. We also have some look at the actual parts. And there's kind of 2 types of joints that you're going to see here. They're all sort of ratcheted, basically, but you have these joints that are just a gear inside of a gear, or I should say, like a gear with something with little tabs that lock into the spokes. And then these round ball, it's not right to call them joints, but the balls, but they have ridges on them, so they kind of act similarly, allowing probably more motion in a front to back sideways, but less motion, or more rigid motion in twisting.
They allow you to have more control so that the body doesn't flop.
Yep.
Basically.
And then we have these. Where are they? Here we go. Here we can actually start to see this is the elbow joint and the upper part of the whatchamacallit, the
shoulder?
forearm.
The forearm.
The upper part of the forearm and the lower part of the upper arm.
Oh, okay.
So this is the connecting pieces on the elbow joint. And what I realized, I'm like, okay, now we're getting really detailed pictures here. And I started counting spokes.
Yep. And then the dog would bark, and he'd sit there and go,
Starting over.
33.
Yeah. What I wanted to see was what kind of sort of articulation that these might have. And so what I counted across these various joints are that by basically counting up how many positions the joint can be in and taking 360, dividing that by 360, I'll end up with the degree of movement between each of these. So the legs, the hip, the knee, the ankle, whoops.
The cute dresses.
I don't, they didn't actually see that. The hip, the knee, and the ankle are all 36 positions, which means they have 10 degrees of motion per click.
Right. Now, that does not mean they have a 360-degree range of motion.
You are correct. These are just counting the gears internally, how much they move per click, and then those will be limited by the physicality of the rest of the doll. So on the elbow, we have at the bottom of it, we have 12 degrees of. Let me get back to that one. We have on the lower one, we have 12 degrees per click, if you will, and above it we have 15 degrees per click. So the higher that number is, the less it is, the less exact that positioning is. But with smaller limbs like the arm, you don't need to be as precise.
Right.
Because they're shorter. A 10-degree movement isn't going to move as far when it's half as long as the leg.
range of movement should feel fairly similar from joint to joint.
I think so.
Just because of the size.
Yeah, I think so. So it'll be... and I'm sorry, we were on my notes. Thank you, Barbie Witch.
You caught it just in time. Thank you, Barbie Witch.
I think we're gonna find that we have a lot of freedom of movement, and I don't know. I'll be interested to know, like, do I feel that 10 degrees, 12 degrees, 15 degrees at all? I doubt it. But we'll be looking to get these as soon as possible, so that we can, really review them. Let you know how they are, how we think, how we feel about them from a posability standpoint. I don't know, maybe we'll try and get some an option frame or something like that, and do some just do some tests. Try and replicate some of the things that Danny does in the wild, knowing full well the danger, so that you don't have to.
So Tempest Strife had an interesting comment, if you wanted to get that.
Tempest Strife says,
I'm skeptical about the frame for now, going to wait for 1 to 2 years to market. The clicking haptic tension seems to be a point of failure or wear to me.
His mention of the type of plastic and its industrial uses does assuage my worries a little bit about the wear. I also I'm not overly worried about the wear because of, generally how the plastic flexes. And the fact that plastic, if the plastic didn't flex, then you'd get a lot of friction going past there. But the plastic as, let me get that out of here. It really depends on which one you're looking at. Here we have just the nubs kind of like right there. So I'm guessing that this may flex a little bit. But when you look at this one, these are the little spokes that are going to be locking into the wheel here, and so this will flex as it has to. So as those gears essentially are putting downward pressure, that has to get transferred away from there. Otherwise, you're going to get, the less it does, the more friction you're going to get.
I know that, from everything we've read and stuff, Danny is very conscious of the fact that he has a very large children customer base.
Yep.
And I would think that he's not putting this out until he, definitely feels it. It is durable and it is ready for play.
And he has been, and I don't know if he has actually put them in the hands of, kids or anything like that, if he's put them out there, but we do know that he has personally been traveling with dolls using this frame for the past year. So there's that as well. I definitely am curious as far as the longevity, or kind of how they rate couches with how many sits. They have the butt sitting machines.
Yeah, right. like IKEA has those things.
Yeah, rated for 5,000 clicks. It'll be interesting to see, is there something, a limit there? And I know it certainly exists, but the advantage with the current dolls is you can keep tightening. You can just tighten up a little bit more. And so it's, I think it's definitely wait and see, and we'll give you as much a report as we can. So if there's something you specifically want us to test on these guys when we first get them, let us know.
Yep.
All right. So we had a Blucher drop last week.
She's so cute.
Yeah, can we just take a moment? There she is. Yo, no, don't pull her wig off. Yeah, Blue Future dropped, and Danny mentioned on Twitter that this was the last batch of the full body dolls, which is sad, but at least there's other ways to get blues. Going back to the screen, we do have Siag Ranch. Please test trying on different clothing. We'll be trying on different clothing, but as far as we know, the frame shouldn't change the body. Now, if we get one of those peach bottoms...
that will definitely be trying some things on.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely. We have the last blue girl dropped, and then I believe, I'm not sure if these are in the correct order. No, so we're just going to go with this. Then Danny mentioned that they actually have a real Smarty land.
He bought a piece of land to put the trailers on and stuff for glamping. Yep. Which is so cool.
Yeah, so I wonder how many trailers he's going to end up building. But they're basically making a little vacation compound.
A glamp ground.
Yeah, a glamping ground. That sounds amazing. We also have, Danny did mention the addition of new 3D files coming, but he did need to add a new warning. So whenever somebody basically comes to him with a question what's wrong, something's wrong with this, whatever.
This file sucks, it came out too small.
Right. He put up a notice and basically telling you, quite honestly, this is something I know already, and I've barely printed anything. How things come out will change by machine and by resin, and you will always, to some extent, have to learn your materials. So they will come out too big or too small, possibly, and you may have to adjust. So it might take you a print or two to get it right. So keep that in mind as you're trying to print your 3D models. And if you have any questions about 3D printing, hop on our Discord at myladydisdain.com/Discord. And
there's a lot of people there that are doing a lot of 3D printing.
Yep.
And that can answer your questions.
Yeah, check out the creative projects forum and post what you're doing and what your questions are, and someone might be able to answer them. Let's see what else we have.
Thank you, Lee, for putting up the link.
So this is Danny basically saying, she went fast, and with Blue Future gone, there are still some going. There are still some full bodies going out there, but they're going to Anime Sugoi and Fabric Friends.
Right. So you still have a chance to get a blue doll if you want to pay to get them from Anime Sugoi or Fabric Friends and Dolls.
Yeah.
But they probably also have wait lists.
Yep. So check in with them. And officially, Danny says, "Welcome to the Galactic Gray era," which is kind of like, okay, we're done with blue, but we're not quite done with blue. I also wanted to bring up this. Danny had a lot of just random tweets that are like, okay, we want to make sure everyone hears this and knows it. But for those of you that wanted to order the mastectomy busts, you don't necessarily have to pay for them, even though you're not a cancer survivor.
Right. So if you have it looks like if you have a family member that battled breast cancer, that you can request one as well.
So that's great. Broadening that up a bit, making sure that more people get access to it. Oh, okay. Now we get to the last and final option head for blue.
Chitose Classic. So she was released in on the grid a while ago.
Yep.
And she hasn't been back in a while, but there she is. There's her head. Because we've been seeing her. We were seeing her full body in his pictures for quite a while.
Yeah.
But evidently he decided to devote those bodies to somebody else, and but she's really cute.
And so that is Chi Classic is the final blue option head drop, and I don't have it here. He does mention that there will still be, as promised, option parts,
including what he said, shy boobs. I don't know
what that... Shy boobs, yeah.
I don't know if that means, like, they were ones that he has... So I'm like, are we gonna get a push-up? Because it was only released, like, once?
Or is it extra small?
Right.
And that...
Right. Or just the fact that there aren't a lot of blue boobs coming out, and he was just saying that he's gonna make more. We don't get it, Danny.
I don't know what shy bloobs are, but bloobs are coming. And... I think there was probably some last frame options or something like that. But so everything else should probably be, I'm going to guess, in the next few weeks, because he did say by the end of November everything's done.
Push-ups would be amazing. Mastectomy bust, of course, would be pretty cool too. But I don't think he's planning on doing that one in blue. But he could change his mind.
I suppose, yes. Except that like. The amount to change colors in a mold, I believe, is a big issue, if I'm remembering correctly. So my guess is, I'm guessing not, unless he has it already dedicated.
Or maybe it's the, like, it would be cool to see that adventurer, the bust for the
cannot wait for the
adventurer.
adventurer bust. Very cool. Tessa's Kingdom says, do you think it's the painted bust? And I mean, he's been doing that.
Maybe.
It could be, but I don't think we've seen a painted bust for
blue.
For blue.
It would be blue with purple nipples.
And I don't feel like that's shy. This is my thing. You said shy like it doesn't show up very much. I'm saying shy in terms of like the physicality of it. Shy would generally mean, you would assume he means small. So that's my guess, is like extra smalls or something. But Who
He
knows?
talked about like the guys hanging out and waiting until they were ready. So I was like, maybe it's the same thing with the boobs. We don't know.
So here we have a mention of Never Say Never. Never Say Never launched as an option head, and within like a day or so, he is already announcing. I don't have it here. He's already announced that she is no more.
Tea did not do as well as cinnamon.
Yeah.
So tea will most likely be going away.
Yeah, which will not make it to a full doll. That may still mean there's option heads.
Right, that's
But,
true. That's true.
Let me just double check. No, okay, that's not going to. Let me go back to this page. Let's see if I can find. And of course, we had Chitose Realityverse get a couple of drops.
Yep, in option heads in cinnamon and tea, and once again, tea did not do as well as cinnamon, so tea will not get a full release.
So he says, I'm not sure. So basically, yeah. So and one of the things that we have to kind of remember to look at is when he does, like, we get notifications, but we don't get reply notifications. So it's good to check his feed to look for when he replies to his own feed here. And so here he says, just a quick update. Yeah, she's not as popular. So we'll see. But I mean, there's still time for other people to, buy more of that if it's something that they really want.
Fabric Friends had evidently had the extra small blue boobs.
Yeah, I mean, my assumption is
We got
that we'll
them.
get more. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we got a set.
Barbie Witch says, is Never Say Never London or is London someone else?
I think London is someone else, but
And I can't remember, though, exactly, so
Yeah.
let's check the archive. Archive.myladydisdain.com. And we are going to... she is semi-real, correct?
yes, she is. G7.
Yeah, no, that is not. That is officially not London. So London is very...
Even with the freckles gone, the eyelashes are completely different.
very different. That looks like the end of our headlines today. So just as a reminder, if you are enjoying staying informed on all things Smart Doll every single week, give this video a thumbs up. It is the single best way to help us, help our videos get to more people, and so that they can enjoy just like you are. All right, we've got... Oh! Yeah, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel, very much.
Rachel says, I will have to come back later and watch the recording, but wanted to show my support for my favorite Smart Doll channel.
Aw,
Thank you so
thanks.
much. So we have, behind the scenes. If I can, there we go.
Oh, I love these so much.
I know, so much that you don't even care that this is a picture from last week.
No, they're just so cute.
This is great. We love these. I really do feel like they feel like something that came out of his whole cyber, ballerina thing.
But they're very much part of the Maury girl aesthetic.
Totally, but like the sort of the look of the skirt and things like that. But now we get a little bit different view of it because we get the actual, I don't know what, schematic?
Love the skirt.
Yeah.
And like now I want to make one because I can look at that and see what they did, and I want to make one.
Yeah. Now, what do you think is actually happening here? Like, to me, my assumption is this connects. The first one connects to the second one,
I think so.
and then just one underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love this. It looks. I want to see what it looks like on. I love the drawing of the folds of the skirt. My hope is that this falls more like that in actuality. It may not, but it's tough at that, at size, because the weight of the fabric isn't going to hang the same way.
Right.
But that is cool. We also had
Another jumpsuit.
Yep, in sort of a Murrah. I guess it's the Murrah color. I mean, it's
Well,
Murrah technique, is right. But
it's like a tan with the Murrah dyeing on it.
yeah, very, very cool. Well, that's right, because we had the orange was with Murrah dyeing.
Yeah,
as well.
it ended up looking like grease stains because it's darker.
Yeah, this looks even more like this looks very much like Grease Monkey kind of thing. I just love the jumpsuit is fantastic. I think this is Marika Halu, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like something that they would have designed.
I think it's them. It's just they're so good.
Courage semi-real in Mirai Plus, and she is so pretty.
Really, really nice. Every time I see a plus now, can we talk about the hair?
Yeah, so I actually went back through Danny's archives about Mirai Plus, and he actually talks about the wigs. And you can tell these wigs look really good and they look really natural. And the thing is it's because when the wig gets bigger, you can deal with gravity a little bit better.
Right.
When they're smaller, you can only use so much weight of hair, and the gravity affects it a certain way. As the wig starts to get bigger, it'll be more realistic.
Yeah, I mean,
in the way that
it's like
hangs.
With smaller wigs, it's very easy for them to essentially just have cowlicks. It's the gravity is not affecting hair that short. It's too light, and it just wants to, do a certain thing. And they get it. They do it pretty well, but I feel like they rely on synthetic and heat forming more for styling.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the bobs that are out currently for the dolls, the straight ones that were in Chaos and stuff, they're really cute, but they get this sort of weird rounded bowl kind of effect if they're not properly styled. Whereas when you see a bob at Mirai Plus size, it's acting properly with gravity, and it's holding a shape that is a lot more normal.
I mean, this always happens. This happens with hair; it likes to curl down anyway. But this happens this curling and just always happens with on the shorter wigs and in places where you don't want it to happen.
That happens on a human too.
Yeah, well, I know.
I get weird curls that end up in different spots because of the way I was sleeping on my hair or whatever.
Right, but they're that size, and so the scale of that curl to you is tiny. To a doll of 1/3 scale is huge.
Gargantuan, yeah.
So yeah, very cool. We've got Pride hanging out back there behind the
behind the transformer.
Yep. And
I think she's getting in the suit.
She's not.
She doesn't have any clothes on.
Yeah, I think she has the mastectomy bust.
That's what would make. Yes, she is wearing shorts. You can see her shorts underneath the arm. Yeah, so it's from those photos where he did the mastectomy bust.
But yeah, very cool. I will say it's probably paint. There's definitely a difference here of less contrast between her
It looks
birthmarks.
very natural though.
Yeah.
I like it. That's the other thing, is you can be a lot more subtle with those paints.
Right.
Because they're bigger.
More opportunity for blending, all sorts of things, yeah. Okay. Now we've looked at a lot of frames. And here we are looking at version 3. Now this is not I don't think we're saying version 3 because we're counting it as like the third version that has existed. This is the third probably version of this file. But this is the Smart Doll Plus frame. So we're actually getting a peek at some of the evolution of this frame. And
So he's applying some of the same techniques probably as the smaller doll, as the normal Smart Doll.
so here's version 4 of that same. So it's something very much like this, but with the rest of the piece added onto it. So we can see here, he is definitely making a new version of the Smart Doll Plus frame, utilizing everything they've learned or are learning from the Evolve frame.
I just all of a sudden had a picture, like, I think about the fact that the dolls are they're like 4 feet tall. And I think about those, they're going to be expensive, but think about kids with those.
Yeah.
Where the doll is like the size of them.
Right.
Which is so cool. It's like those my size Barbies.
Totally. All right, so what do we have going on here, Sandy?
It looks like molds for the making molds for the badges for the Solar Marines.
Yeah, and I think the prints, so the black things, those are the must be the 3D printed badges that are being used for the mold. Let's take a look at the next one. There was actually more to that, but I guess we're out of order. Here we have a cool new schematic for an outfit called Mandalorian. Yeah. I was like, that's. I'm not seeing overtly like Mandalorian like it's an exact copy of something. So it's just sort of that style, I guess. But very, very interesting. I'm trying to figure out, it's going to have like a weird overall tank top. Like, doesn't that look like a sports bra that's also Oshkosh bagosh?
I don't know. Maybe it will attach to the pant? No. It looks like you're right. It looks like it's some sort of like...
It's like a Mando bra.
Or does it go over the jacket? Because it's going to have like some sort of device on it. Because like it's got those 2 holes. Like maybe those are for like something to come through.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. The pants, you can start to get an idea for some of the stuff he's doing there. Just lots of really interesting designs. Here we have
another look at the goggles.
A mold being made for the goggles. So I believe once again that black, that is the 3D printed piece that was, I believe, is making the mold.
So yeah, a lot of people thought that was Catwoman, and I think now we're seeing the angle better, and it actually looks more like the goggles.
It was definitely the goggles, yeah. And here we have him actually melting down metal to create
metal ones.
Yeah, and what I can't quite tell,
are those Smart Doll Plus size?
This is...
That's not a ton of...
This is like this big.
Right, but like, if you could... So look at the pot there, and then you have that grate, right? Now we're looking at the grate again.
Things like this big. It's Smart Doll.
It's Smart Doll size, yeah. No, you're right.
What I couldn't quite tell is if are these die cast, or so that he's putting the metal into the mold, or is this like plating where he's, I don't know. I think it's die cast though. He's having some issues. It looks like with the, you can see here.
Yep.
With that's not
When
coming
it's
out
coming,
perfect.
yeah, when it comes out, it's getting all goopy.
Yeah. So that's very cool. I would definitely look forward to seeing those adventure goggles or whatever that he was making in full. So that means it's time to party, Sandy.
Okay, let's do it.
We came to party all night long. Let's sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our zone. Making plans so as we go, where we dance when no one knows just how we want it. We want it. Going left, going right, doesn't matter tonight, just how we want it. We want it. Yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else.
Pretty shots this week.
Gotta love it.
There were so many good ones, but I specifically, of course, the Snowflake. That was the first one. Was Danielle, I believe. That's a beautiful shot. And then Spirit Moon with the toy was.
Yep.
That was adorable.
Busy Bee. I love those like thick rimmed glasses on the dolls. Of course, I have.
You have a pair for Luma.
Luma has worn one of those always. Just like, it just gets me. Love to see those pictures. There's also a ton of photographs every single week in our photography channel on the Discord as well that people aren't submitting to this. But thanks to your feedback, we are now putting those, you probably already noticed, in the pre-show. So we'll be keeping the archive of every week's Smarty Party as something for you to watch before the show starts.
Yep. If you're just waiting for us, maybe you're working in your craft space and you've got us on, you can have those to look at slideshow for a while before we come on.
Yeah. So we are, let's check our time. We are doing very well. So let's see if we have any questions in the chat before we head out. We do have the new Q&A feature of YouTube, so you can click in there and add your questions. Let's talk about Aki's question. Are you going to or planning to have a super smart doll?
I'm assuming a Smart Doll Plus.
We want one.
Yeah, we definitely want one.
It's been a slow burn, but all the talk, seeing the new ones, we'd even take, we'd even probably take one off. If you are out there and you didn't, like we're too intimidated to put yours together from whatever the kit that they send out, I'll do it. I'll take it.
Yeah,
but,
definitely let us know because we would like to have one. I mean, it feels like we should have one. Like we've got a corner over there.
Yeah, there's a spot for.
There's a spot for one back there.
And if we do get a plus, like a current, the older pluses, we're still probably gonna want one of the new ones. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely interested. Kathy asks, are you doing any more storage ideas?
We really should. Currently, right now, I'm working on storage ideas for the rest of the house because I am like nesting hardcore over the past few weeks. But yeah, no, we should do another one.
It's very messy. Just like bits of cardboard everywhere. Just like a hamster.
Taking hair out of my brush. You know?
Oh, God. You should see her ribbon drawer. Just gone. Yeah, I don't... we are ramping back up with doing more edited videos. My guess is it's going to probably take through the holidays and till after Sandy gets back on her feet after her upcoming surgery, and we'll look in the new year to start doing more than just lives. But in the meantime, we've been just investing, as much as we can into making the live shows as good as possible.
Can you point out how awesome your Batgirl looks in the background, please? I posed her! That was me!
Okay, let's... No, that's the mic.
Oh, did we lose it? You see her back there?
Yeah, you get a little bit better shot of her.
She's kind of like kneeling on the shelf with one leg hanging down and then one arm up on the top of the shelves.
Yeah, all right. That was fun. I thought that was going to be easier than it was.
That was the first time you've tried doing that, I think.
Yes. All right. It doesn't look like we have any more questions. So that is going to do it for us. Thank you all so much. We got one more. Last question. I'm wondering how long blues were around. Do you think that will determine how long grays will be available once they come out? Year and a half?
It's been a while. I think that they came out like not long after we started.
It was summer 2021.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it's been a while. And he kept saying, oh, it's going to be done, it's going to be done. And then people kept, coming up with things they wanted, and he kept trying them and finding things that he liked and putting them out again.
Yeah.
Do I think it's an indication of how long gray will last? Who knows? Maybe gray just won't appeal to people. We have no idea.
I think they'll be around as long as we're buying, until he gets sick of them. I mean, at this point, he is ready for gray, and so it was time to kind of force, blue to end.
I mean, there are some dolls that want to be in gray. Anomaly, I think Prowess is going to look fantastic in gray. Obviously, Relentless, which we've seen, looks phenomenal in gray. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what we end up getting.
Thank you, Whistlebeans babies. And thank you all for watching this week. We will be here next week, but not the week after.
As far as we know right now.
Yeah.
Or at least I won't. It depends on whether you want to get somebody else to do the news with you or not.
Not when you're like, that's the day. So
yeah.
We're not doing the news on the day of your surgery.
Monday after next. Right?
No news.
No news. I will have been in surgery during the day.
So so that's not, maybe we'll do a check-in with the Discord or something that evening, but just to let them know that you're okay.
Right.
But we will see you next week. And remember, get your holiday shirts now so you can get them in time for the actual holidays. Bye, everyone.
Bye.